Yesterday we had a short meeting to start, to check the videos and stuff, and later on I show you guys the facility we have and everything we are using here, and it was obviously interesting for you guys, so we decided to show to everybody else just a little bit about our facilities here. So we are this is a entrance from our offices here. Obviously we have a Hall of Fame wall with the 4 NBA guys and one player who is at the moment playing in Europe. So Ben Moore, who's playing for Pacers, he's a two-way player. Hopefully gets a full NBA contract. Sterling Brown playing in Milwaukee Bucks. All the guys are from a championship generation, 2016-17. Shimi Ojungwe, specialist for Boston Celtics, and a couple more guys here. As I said, Nick Moore playing in France, All-American player here, and Shake Milton right now playing in Philadelphia 76ers. Our offices, as I said, I hope I don't forget my card. Yeah, we are back. Right now there's nobody here, so obviously this is a front desk. Really nice offices renovated 2 years ago. This is what I learned here in the States. It's very important for players that you show them. This is for our recruiting purpose, to show the players what kind of equipment they're going to have. We obviously Nike is cool, and those are the 4 colors we use during the season. We try to show them the shoes they're going to get during the season, because they get a couple of pairs each season. Trophy case here. The one that I really like is this one here from 2 years ago, which I actually was participating in. And then offices here. Each coach has their own office. This is the one we usually use for if you have more people involved in some kind of basketball discussion, which is not a conference room, but made for more coaches at the same time. Obviously, Hall of Fame wall with all the pictures of the players. This will be my office here. Each of us have the obviously big TV and everything that you can follow as much as you can. Basketball. Kitchen, where I spend most of the time, eating all the time. Sometimes you can get, even in the kitchen, you can get people here doing some basketball, which is very interesting. You come in the kitchen, get a sandwich, and then you end up drawing here for 15, 20 minutes. Kind of fun wall, pictures with our families and different interesting things that happened in our staff. This is me in Sweden, coaching and some other stuff, young guys coming at the campus first times or something like that. And if I go too fast, just stop me. So
yeah, don't worry. It's perfect.
This will be the conference room where we spend most of our time. You come in the morning, you put the bag in your office, come here and do the stuff, talk about practice, talk about the game plan. This is, as I said, 4 guys that are in the NBA right now. We are really proud of them, sending them out, representing our program on a great way. So basically, this will be like offices from the other coaches. Nobody's here right now, but each coach, they have their own office, and we are usually, as I said, meet in a conference room. Really good thing about our facility is that we have everything connected. So I'm leaving now. Our players' locker room and the practice gym are just under us. I'm going down the stairs down. Some schools don't have everything connected. On my right side will be the weight room, practice gym. Obviously, everything is shut down right now. I wish I could show you the lights, because it's really nice. And then on the end of the hallway will be the gym where we play the games. So really nice for us that is everything connected, that you don't need to run around the campus. This lounge where they spend the time between the classes, before a game, after shoot around. They can relax here, read, whatever. They have one station for recovery if they want to do recovery on their own. We have the full, let's say, office or equipment on the other side, which is locked right now, but they do have a professional trainer there and access to him 24/7. Kitchen for them, they get food after every practice, 1 meal a day from us, I think. And this will be the locker room here. So really, really nice conditions for work. Extremely happy that I had a chance to work here. Oh, they have a steam sauna here. They have really, really nice conditions to work. So that's what we decided yesterday to share with the coaches before we start official meeting. So.
Yeah, like we said, even here in Europe, we have very, very similar facilities.
Yeah, we had some coaches from EuroLeague coming here for visit, and they obviously, you know, we have option to fly with a charter flight sometimes and stay in the really nice hotels, the stuff that you usually have on a high level. So when the coaches from EuroLeague come to visit or high level in Europe, they still get surprised with all the conditions we have. So once again, really, really happy and really happy that I had the chance to work here. So it's still
great, great.
I'm gonna switch this to my computer right
Super.
now.
Thank you, Nemanja.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you. Super. We cannot see. Okay, we can even see you. Great. Okay. Coach, before we start talking about player development, would you like to share with us, let's say, your basketball coaching journey? Okay, from the early beginning until the USA.
Yeah, I'll skip here to the first slide. You can see it here. Basically, I cut my CV out. I'm coming from a small town in Serbia, Lajkovac. I started my coaching career over there. Slowly after that, moved to Belgrade because of the studies and worked over there in a small club, Superfund. We had Nemanja Jovanović over there in that time. It was really fun. After Superfund, moved to Red Star U teams, stayed there for a couple of years. Moved to the first team, senior team, Red Star as assistant coach. After that, got my first head coaching job in Denmark in I think age 27. Being there for a year, went to Spain for 3 years, working a small club, but very famous club in Spain and all Europe now that working in the development of the players, Torrelodones. Spent there 3 years, went back to Denmark for a head coaching job again, stayed there for 2 years, worked together with B Hoops, famous Bogdan Karajic. Then after Denmark, Sweden for 1 year. And after Sweden, I got the invitation from Sean Stout, one of our coaches from the staff, and Larry Brown to join the SMU in 2015. Now in SMU, this is my 6th season, which is amazing, and it's great. Enjoying that. I changed positions from video coordinator to special assistant to head coach to director of player development. And besides that, I also have education in faculty of sport physical education from Belgrade and 2 basketball academies, one in Madrid and one in Belgrade. So a lot of basketball education before we came here. Anything else from that part?
No, so far so good. Thank you so much.
Okay.
We can start talking about player development in college system, and I just would like to remember our coaches, if they have any question, just to feel free to write it or just to ask it directly to you. It's not a problem.
Okay, so I'm getting all the time a lot of questions about college and the system, and I see that some even until I came here, I didn't know all the rules. Obviously, the main and most important thing is why NCAA or college system is different than any other system is that you have a student first and an athlete after. So any NBA or Europe or wherever we talk about, you basically can treat your professional players as only athlete. Here they are student first, and then we have to respect the school rules and rules that are provided by NCAA. So most important thing I think it's that is different is practice rules. Before a season you get 30 practices before your first day of the game in the 42 days. So you have to have 1 day off a week, and you have 30 practices to prepare your team for a game. You can, in that time when official practice starts, you can use your players 4 hours a day. You can use them only 4 hours a day, which is included in the team meetings, in a scouting, weightlifting, time on the court. So it's very strictly limited, so they can actually provide and do their work in school, which is really different than any other environment. And then 8-hour rule is about the summer. Like during the summer, you can have your players 8 hours a week available to the coaches. 8 hours a week, which is really small comparing the number of hours that players are using in Europe in the same time. 4 hours can be on the court, 4 hours can be in the weight room. So, which is 4 hours a week on the court it's way different than anybody else. Obviously, game rules are different. We have 30-second shot clock. Timeouts are different. BOBs, like how you put the ball inside, it's way different than the things that I experienced in Europe, and it's now by FIBA rules. And some questions we get always about the staff. I screenshot the size of our staff. We are high major college basketball, and obviously our staff is big. In any staff, you have a head coach and 3 assistant coaches. Assistant coaches' role in college basketball is mainly to recruit the players. So they are recruiters. Their job is 24/7 to find the next player for next year or 2 years from now, 3 years from now. In our case, KT Turner is associate head coach, which means he's in the equal position like head coach. That means he did a great job in his assistant job and on basketball job as well. So the next thing you usually see in the staff is director of basketball operations. That is the person that is usually in charge as a link between the basketball staff and university. There's so many things that you have to put in order, like practice schedule, placing the players in the dorm, organization about the whole team, which is travel, season scheduling, everything. Like director of basketball operations is really important and hard job to do, because besides you have to do the basketball and operations at the same time. Extremely hard, and that's why it's all the way up to top to the assistant coaches. Later on, every staff is different. They have different positions. Like in our case, we have director of player development, video coordinator, director of recruiting, which all have different roles, but we always do, besides our main roles, we also do the regular basketball duties, like doing the scouting or doing the, preparing, in a way, talking to the assistant coaches and talking to the head coach about everything that should be done. Director of recruiting in our case will be somebody who collects all information about recruiters, like contacts, mails, stuff, and then try to link that with assistant coaches. Obviously, video position is which I also do bunch with my position as well. All the day-to-day video stuff, like preparing the video for practice, preparing the video for game, preparing the video for players if they want to watch something. So we, in our staff, we had assistant coach and director of operations and everybody that went through that position, so it makes it easier for us. And then later on, we have Mark Mitchell and Warren Young that are here in our case, director of athletics and athletic trainer. Those guys are in charge for everything we need to do about physical preparation of the players. Warren is athletic trainer. He usually has 2 more assistants with him. After every practice, they should go to the weight room and then do recovery and stuff. And then graduate manager, graduate assistant is position of the coach who's basically still in school. So they're getting scholarship to do the master degree here, and they're helping around the team. So that's a little bit about the staff. It's way different in Europe, but for me it was really to say interesting to come here and cooperate with all the people at the same time, which I think is great. We have a great staff, and they treat me well. Even if I'm foreigner, they treat me very well. Talking about I'm trying to go fast because I'm trying to show as much as we can clips from the practice, talk about methodology, how you learn any move or how you learn any new stuff. In this case, I talk about one move, but it can be also with translate to any, let's say, small action that you want to learn, 3-0 or 5-0 in the game. So from our school, from our basketball school in Serbia, those are the moves that you should go. This is the process that you should go explain, demonstrate slowly until the players learn. There's 12 different learning styles. Some players, they need to see it. Some players need to repeat it. Some players need to hear it. Some players need to see somebody else doing it. So you should, as a coach, know what's the best for your player to learn a new move. If you show the new layup or you show a new shot or whatever, if he's somebody who needs to feel it, then you let him to do it a couple of times. Like the next step says, learning process, they should go slow in his pace until he picks up let's say, the basic movement. After that, you go into speed and details. If you see that he picked up, okay, it should be left leg, left arm, layup. When you pick up the move, then you can add the speed or talk more about details. Second step will be that you do one-on-one with dummy defense, or basically defense is doing what you tell defense, and then player knows what he's going to expect and then makes the same move. After that, you go into normal defense. We say one-on-one, normal basketball rules. And then on the end, when you want to really emphasize and make a better player or make a specialization of that move, you go into limits for offense. Limits will be time limit, space limit, dribbling or defense, or something else that you can make it harder on player. Let's say you have one dribbling to do this, or you play against two defenders, or you're playing in a smaller space. If you talk about individual practice or any practice, obviously three main parts are warm up, main part, and cool down. I personally, we talk about individual practice, taking this from our basketball school. I like to warm up players with a basic movement because that decreases the chances for injuries. If you connect the brain with all the movements that you usually have, there's less chances that you get injured. So I really start slow. I like to go through the walking, running, slides, jumps, change of speed, change of direction before I get into anything. That can be with the ball or without the ball. Our professor from university, he suggests without the ball because usually the ball can push the player to do things a little bit faster than normal. But I think with the ball also, if you explain them why they're doing it, it can be also done. As of now, I usually do the ball handling and passing in the warm-up part of the practice. We can also do some passing drills later on in the main part, and also finishing at the rim. I think right now basketball is going that direction that you have to have option to finish on different ways at the rim. In the main part is experience of the movement, and then with multi, I think you can mix up different types of exercises. Obviously, if you have enough players and you want to do live game is coming to the main part, and then on the end, cool down means stretching or free throws or taking the players out of the practice. So on this example, I'm gonna go just introduce the videos that we did last year. We're gonna see Shake Milton, who is playing for Philadelphia 76ers. He was here with us last summer. He spent 1 year as a two-way player in the G League and NBA, and then came back for summer for workouts. So the video that you're gonna see is his video from last summer, but most of the things are similar with skills that we are doing here with our guys as well at SMU. As you see, he made a big improvement, which is not, I'm not saying it's just because of our practice. This is his normal shooting percentage, around 45. First year, obviously, he was nervous in the league, but like huge increase in his game, like including being 16-time starter for Philadelphia. 2 great games we had. We had 39 points against Clippers, and he's obviously player with most consecutive 3 points in can stop me. This is the part of backpedal running, side running or side walking, and change of pace, change of direction. So I think it was for him boring at the beginning, but then when you explain to players why they do it, they understand, they want to do it. I went to see him last year at Sixers for practice, and he was doing the same thing on the side. So I think once you explain them why they do stuff, they're gonna stand and do it. Just a regular, nothing new here. So running, then slowly we go from different movement where you have slow change of the pace, slowly getting into the connection between left and right brain, side, doing some double moves, doing some changes of the hand as a part of the warm up, and then obviously change of direction. We can. So I do this right hand finish on one side, left hand finish on the other side. 2 times just up and down each trip. This will take maybe 5 minutes for warm up before we get to the next thing. My bad, just a second. So if you do any stationary ball handling, I don't like you to do it first. I like to do that for, as I said, I like to do the first part to warm up and then get into ball handling. I just don't think players like to get in the gym and then stand right away. I think they want to move. I think they want to shoot. And I think if I do any ball handling, will be after. So in this case, we have players doing there's a million of different drills that you can pick. What I like to do here, Sean Stout, our director of basketball operations, is counting the time for them. Then we'll do 30 seconds. One of the options, I got this from Ryan Panone a long time ago, and I still use it. I think it's great. If you do, let's say, 3 moves like they did, it will be cross behind the back, should be 25 for high-level players in 30 seconds. So different options here that you can pick day to day. You don't have to do, obviously, all of them, but we pick a couple of those just to warm up. Again, this is a couple of minutes for a ball handling. Nothing new here, same thing, two dribbling, ball handling with some passing. In this part of practice also, I try to put a little bit of thinking that they don't know what's coming. So we include the brain as well. Like here, like whatever, pass the ball to one hand or the other hand, tell them to do different moves. It can be a voice command, or it can be the direction where the ball goes. Just slowly warm up. After we warm up the body, get into the also warm up the brain a little bit. Passing, call this pick and roll passing, because usually in NBA and on our level as well, most of the teams are downing or let you to get to that spot. Big will be in the drop position. So basically around that spot, elbow, defense will make decision about switching or staying or whatever. So most of the passes are coming from that position. We'll do different passing just to warm up. Obviously, this will be the in case the big is rolling down, the pocket pass can be inside hand, outside hand, roll up player from behind with the hook pass. This will be a couple of passes each, maybe 2 passes each hand, and then we go to the next one. This is dunker spot, the player who is in high net position down there, usually bounce pass or straight up or lob pass, and then cross court pass to the player in the corner, same thing, hook pass. Another passing drill that sometimes we do, like you will make it 3 different passes and then maybe get a ball for a shot or go for a layup still in the warm-up part of the practice. Will be push pass, hook pass, pass behind the back in this case, and then maybe some layups. Is this going too fast? Can you see the video now? Is everything okay?
No, it's perfect, I believe. Yeah.
Okay. So
I'm gonna tell you if there is any problem.
Can you say once again?
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you if we have some problems. Don't worry.
Okay, sure.
Super.
Great. So
thank you.
Just a second here. Okay. Mic and drill. I mean, I still love this drill because of the touch. Get maybe a couple reps on facing the basket or facing the baseline. This is extended mic and drill that we like to do is that you stay outside this blue circle and just work on the touch. It's the same like mic and drill, but extended for a couple of steps away, so the player can work on his touch around the rim as a warm-up part before we get into other stuff. Okay, so same thing, warm-up part here. You will do a couple of ball handling drills. Basically, in this drill, we'll let the players to choose different moves. He's working on his ball handling here, including all the moves we did before. When the coach says go, same thing. Try to warm up the brain. He will make a one dribble extra and then go for finish. In this case, as we have two coaches on the practice, we will try to give him different angles so he can get a different options to finish. We will cover all three spots. It will be one side. In this case, you see Sean Stout again being on his left side, right side. So he will go with the right hand, left hand. And so we'll do this corner, middle, and the side, maybe twice each hand as a part of warm-up. So once again, this is not one practice. This is example for a game, like when defense meets you just in this spot where we try to do, and you have to find the angle to finish. This is not one practice, obviously. This is all different things we can do in the warm-up. Obviously, from day to day, you're switching. One day you're going to warm up with ball handling, one day you're going to warm up with passing, one day you're going to warm up with finishing. So different things. I call this shake warm-up. We started doing this a long time ago with him. Obviously, when you do the floater shot, you can catch the ball up. You can shoot the ball after one step, after two steps, or dropping down in 2 feet. So we would do 2 shots with each hand with each option. So 1 step, 2 steps, 2 feet from this angle in the middle, and angle on the side. So it's a warm up. It's going slow. He works on his touch. He's just throwing the ball up, feeling. By the way, he's really great with the left hand and feeling around. I don't think you can do this type of shooting with everybody. I think when you see that player can do that, you can specialize in some things. Same drill, different day. You get a couple of steps out, and you do the same thing. He will do some ball handling here. When you say go, he will go and then make one of those 2. In this case, it's a 1-step shot, 1-step floater. Same example for a game. He's a little bit slow in switching. So he's getting here off the 1 foot, getting up, shooting the floater there. Same drill. Starts to go a little bit slow now, but 1, 2, throw the ball up. Basically same. I'll try to go slow if it's possible so you can see. It's the same drill here. Basically, you have the ball handling on the top of the key. He makes a go, make explosive move, and then you have 2 steps here. 1, 2, throws the ball up. And 2 feet, same thing, different angle. Drop down on 2 feet, throws the ball up. Same example from the game. So this will be all the. That's going to be it's called a shake warm up. We have 3 different angles. Then when we start to do something new or work on some move, this is one of the options we'll do. We'll be on elbow, and in this case is lane line drive, which means sometimes the big keeps you in front and you don't have angle to get to the rim, so your finishes are coming somewhere from that angle. I need to say Joe Pop is here helping us. Joe Pop is our graduate manager. He's amazing. If you need somebody in your staff, hire Joe. He's great. So this is one hand high glass lane line layup. Same thing as a warm-up drill. We go slow. I think he's cutting. I hope you guys can see that. Can you see that?
Yeah.
When it goes to the green film.
I have a question. Can I? In this situation, when you work on a one-on-one, okay, face-to-face one-on-one, let's say, what advice you give to your offensive player? What's the reading that he has to do?
What you mean? Like to
consider? Like, is it like a defensive footwork?
You said we are 1-on-1, me and him, or?
Generally speaking.
So that we're coming back to the first slide I showed. You will show 1-on-0 move. You will try to ask him to do it in a full speed. You will let some defense. You will give him a couple of different reads. As we are coming now, we're going to see, okay, this was a 2-step layup. Then he will probably have a defense cutting him off or defense making contact with him at the beginning. So when you go through all these moves, then you're going to basically play live and he will get the reads from there. So you're going to show each one of it slowly one by one, and then he will later on in the game or during the practice pick up the one that he should. You're reading always the defense. You have to read the defense to make a move. I don't know if I answered.
Specifically, talking about defense, what do you consider when you say to read defense? Is it
position of the body,
distance,
position of the body, distance of the defense, second defender help, position of the second defender inside, outside the circle, different small things that the defense can give it to you.
Great, super, thank you.
So same thing here. So in this case, layup where you bring the ball high above your head, introduce a little bit more defense depending on the how many people we have on the floor. We can put more defense or less. Same thing here. So weak side defender try to stimulate to bring the ball up above your head, strong finish, hold it all the way until the end. Another lane line drive. In this case, it's a shooting basically. So you don't finish with the one hand, or so you're jumping off the 1 foot and have a small floor that is from that really tough angle. That happens a lot in a drop defense, like you see here. The big is in the drop on the change of the pace. He gets that angle, and then you have to finish from there. Obviously, finish can be off the glass and without the glass. We do both. We call this wade. Basically, defense cuts you off in front. You have to bring the ball above your shoulder or under, depending on position of the hands. And you can do it also behind the back. So I will cut him off, goes the other way, and try to finish with a secondary defender as well. Example from the game, same thing, bring the ball over the defense and finish on that side. As you talk about the teaching the moves, like I said at the beginning, this is one example with one step, same hand layup. So slow pace, you learn the move, different options obviously. So it can be on the front side, back side. This is a reverse layup. It's a reverse layup here, same thing. Same thing on the left. Then it will be a little bit faster. So second step will be transition. You go a little bit faster down here, and we have a defender in front of you, make a move, and then finish off the one step. Then a little bit harder defense. We have to read. In this case, it was a hezzy move. He makes a hezzy move, and then after hezzy move goes 1 foot, left foot, left hand finish. Same in the game. Coming off the screen, change of pace, left. Progression of this will be defense, where you change your hand first. So change your hand first, and then have one step over there. So I don't know if Davor is watching now or no. My friend from Spain. I'm using these sticks. He doesn't like. I don't like any sticks in the practice. Any material that usually don't have in the game. But this was the feedback from the player. He said he likes it because obviously we cannot contest on the level that NBA players are contesting him. So we use this extension, and this is the first time in my life I'm using it. But I think it's a good tool. Like, he gave us a feedback. I think we saw somebody doing it, and then he said he likes it, so we just kept it in our practice here. Same thing, so it will be the change of the hand, but with a different angle, so you're going away from the basket. So when you change the hand and you have one step, obviously Shake is long, has a 7 feet wingspan, so he can do that off the one balance, coming here in the same angle in the game. And then this will be in the end, let's say live, almost normal defense, where you have to set up your man, set up for screen. My computer starts to go slower and slower. Sean, I need a new computer. Come on. So that's a change. Basically try to read defense. So then in this case, you see when we get into 2-on-2, I can be anywhere. I can be on left side, right side. So he will make one of the moves that we already did in the position. We're getting into the rims. That's the same thing. So here in the ball screen, you change the hand, and then you have 1-1 on the end. And then, I mean, the last thing, the most complicated, I think in this case, is you can make a double move and then finish with one step, 1-2 moves, and then make a 1-1 finish.
Just tell us, please, also the, let's say, different names you use for all those movements. For instance, snake movement, or we would like to know also that.
what we have seen so far is that the way how I call it, if it's a lane line drive, we call it lane line drive. I would say shot or high glass. So he knows basically what I'm saying when I show the lane line. What else we have seen? Okay, one step, same hand finish. Most of people here, they call it Nash. I call it 1-1. I mean, he knows what I'm talking about. So I think every organization have different language for it. Like depending how you see, you saw the ball handling. We did the ball handling finish, and it was Spurs. We saw the drill at Spurs. I call it Spurs, so I can remember it. Shake warm up. I call it shake warm up because we started doing that with him. So it's just terminology is different from organization to organization. I suggest you take your name it's easier for you to remember, and keep it with that. After this, and I mean another block that we usually do is finishing around the basket with the contact. So in this case, player goes 2 steps through the contact with me. Obviously, I can make that contact good with the body I have, and then shoots. Basically, it's shot around the rim. So it's a 1-2 off the balance shot around the rim. Second. Have to go slower so you can see it's the same move. So basically he gets in contact with defense for 2 steps, 1-2, they cut him off. He's finishing with the shot off the 1 foot, basically off the balance, tough shot. Contact can also happen on the first step. In this case, I didn't do it great. Basically, when defense puts the hands on you and you want to use it as a continuation to finish around the basket, he's basically great in this. Example for a game here with Bogdan guarding him is like legal contact with defense. He raises up, try to get N1, didn't get the call, but example same here. Getting into as a freshman, you don't get much of these calls, but basically shooting off the 1 foot out of the balance around the basket. So another example, when you have a contact on a second step, is like when you make a first step into defense. This is all warm-up drills here, so obviously you can do it as a layup or post up. He doesn't post bunch, but it can be like a Nowitzki move on the post. Like here, getting into defense here with on the first step, second step away from defense, you separate and have that little shot off the 1 foot over there. So those are all the let's say warm-up drills, finishing that we do. Maybe different block can be every day. One day will be off the contact, one day will be a lane line drive. There's also a bunch of finishing that I didn't put here because of the length of the clinic, we can't put everything. But basically, you have a baseline, baseline cuts. You have a handoff finishing. You have different things that you can do. But I like to do off the 1 foot, 2 steps, 2 feet at the ground at the same time, and obviously with contact. So those are different blocks, and then you can put every day different finish. Can be in transition, can be a little bit faster depending on if you want to do it in the main part of the practice with the defense, reads. So that's just as the block. After we do that first part, we're getting into shooting. Every time we do any kind of practice, we do shooting form where player starts at the bottom, finish at 3-point line, just get his legs under, feel the ball. This is the language they usually hear for this. Nena, they call it basketball yoga. I don't know. Igor called it like that a long time ago, and now everybody's calling when nothing new here.
Yeah, amazing.
Balance, yeah. Different type of balance drills, 1 foot, 2 feet. Like he likes that. He wants to go sometimes, even if I didn't have it in practice. He will say, I want to do this.
There is a great clinic on FIBA YouTube channel. Igor did a couple of years ago. So for all of you who would like to watch it, there's on YouTube channel that clinic. It was amazing.
Yeah, we are moving slowly to shooting. I need to say Kevin Dunleavy is on the basket as well here. Great guy. He was in our staff a couple of years ago. Hire him as well. Do not make mistake. Shooting drills. When we start shooting, I like to start from 2-point, extend to 3-point line. After that, this is the warm-up drill we use. 2 and move. You have to make it 2 in a row to move to the next spot. If you miss 2 in a row, you go back. With a great shooter like he is, you have to challenge him all the time. You cannot say just a number. It has to be in a row. Keep the focus to make each shot important. So this will be basically 2 and move will be the spot shooting. After that will be a little bit shooting on the move. In this case will be elbow, or be side, and all the drills that we did before. This will be 6 in a row for me. 3 spots. So it'll be here 6 in a row, here 6 in a row, 6 in a row to go back, to finish the drill basically. Slowly getting into the shooting off the dribbling. After that, will be different type of pull-ups, usually off the ball screen because of the position of the player. Get to that soft spot on the elbow, shoot it. Change of the hand. As you see, sometimes it's with defense, sometimes it's just me with him, depending on the number of the coaches we have available, and also the part of the practice where we do this. This might be the warm-up part now.
Mm-hmm.
Shoot from the elbow off the change of the hand. Can be just one change like here, or it can be more changes, like consecutive changes with one or two changes on the elbow, attacking the big downhill. Spin pull up, same thing that happens, attacking the big downhill, kind of cuts you off. Spin into 1-2, into pull up. Same thing here in the game. He's long, he's used it a lot. Half spin, I gotta say one name, Jay Duncan. He's one of the coaches in our staff. He loves this move. We work on it all the time. I call it JD. Gets to the half spin, gets back into the shot. Half spin here, fake a spin, go back in the shot. So this is all the 2-point shooting. So obviously off the back foot, another strong weapon in the game. Stopping 1-2 under the basket, show the ball to the big, and then pivot back in the shot. So when we do this series, it will be maybe two makes on each side, each hand, and just go to the next shot. This is example from the game. Back foot, spin, soft shot over there.
Perfect.
Okay. Side step as well. You get into the big. He's kind of in front of you. This is just a part to warm up. So we step aside, try to have a good balance. I try to push. And then later on with the defense, can be with the reads or no, but same thing, progression. Like you go slowly from the warm up where we're just standing there into a little bit faster move, in and out into a pull up. So different way to get into the pull up here. I call this SS handoff series, which is Sean Stout, guy I mentioned before. He's the handoff guy in our staff. He loves it every time. Try to go through it. It's an important part of the NBA game now. Everybody's playing through the handoff. Shake is a shooter. So different options on him here. Like obviously we catch and shoot off the handoff. They follow one dribbling pull up. So in this case, what I call it series because Sean will take and Sean likes to do all the shots at the same time. So it'll be a different shot every time. He will tell them at the beginning will be maybe one make or two makes, but some example from the game, one dribbling pull up. Defense goes under on the handoff. Defense goes under on the handoff on the deep one. Catch three. It's like a pitch more than a handoff. Example same. So defense goes under, you get a pitch back, shoots it. And then obviously they go under if they decide, which will be crazy for him, but if they decide to go under on him or anybody else, rescreen, get into the shot. Here's the same thing, rescreen, get in the shot. This is an example for three, but basically it can be 2 or 3. So moving to a 3-point line, we'll do the same drill. Like we have 2 and move. I like to do 3 and move to go next one. So 3 makes in a row to go to next spot. If you make 2 misses, you go back. Go all 5 spots, start in the corner, go around the horn just to warm up the gun a little bit as a first drill. Then we'll combine with some movement as well, like we did with 2. In this case, it's a long pull, and then you get a step-in shot behind. So let's say you have to make a 2 in a row to move to the next spot. So we'll get to move to the position we want to shoot, and then step-in shot. You gotta make a 2 in a row like that to go to the next one. So as I said before, try to challenge them. I'm trying to challenge them every time to make it in a row, to finish all 5 spots so we know what we did, so it's not just a number. Sometimes we will do the number, but very often will be in the row. Just different type of movement that we are using in our screen, in our game, or Phil is using. I gotta go back here. John Nicky, our coach here, John Nicky. If you need to hire anybody, hire John Nicky before Kevin and Joe. He's great. 3 in a row, different shots. So after warm up a little bit, also there can be different series. So it can be now combination between 2 and 3. So it'll be 1 pull up, then running out, which we call pull, and then step in shot. 3 in a row on each spot to move to the next spot. Another example, pull out shot, catch and shoot shot, and then shot fake shot on the run off the line, like with a glide step into shot. 3 in a row to go to the next spot. Another one, pull, shot, and then glide step on the end. Same thing. He will go sideways shot. Same thing like you did before. This can be just shooting in 1-on-0 situation, but also can be read with the coach. If you have more people that's coming later, we're gonna try to pass the ball and then not pass the ball, and then if coach runs at you, you dribble it, make some read and shoot it. If he doesn't run, you shoot a step in shot. So you kind of read and get ready every time for next shot. Just different options. Transition 3, catch and shoot 3, or slide 3. In this case, he's reading me a little bit. And then in this case, if we put transition, it will be 45 middle on the side, just the 3 sets. Any other questions so far? I'm going a little bit fast, try to go through all the videos, but if you want to stop, basically try to build up from, warm up, finishing, 2-point, 3-point shooting, different sets. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, first of all, Coach Nick is asking you, have you ever tried to put into your drill also defensive, let's say, part? For instance, 2 different conclusions and then zigzag the like couple of meters, just, or close out the, or something like that, just to work also on, let's say, transformation from offense to defense. Transition, sorry, not transformation, transition. Yes,
we do that. As I told you before we start clinic with all the coaches, obviously I'm trying to show the methodology of the work, how I see it in my head and how I try to do it on the court. You can't show all the drills you do, obviously, but let's say, so Shea came here to prepare for summer league to basically try to sign the full contract, and we started slowly. I think we had 5 weeks or something like that. So first, second week was, getting back into the everything, wake up the body slowly. And then last 2 weeks have been really intense, which was really game stuff situation. And then we had, I call that basically conditional drill as well, because if something has a length more than 15 seconds, also includes some other stuff in the body. So we will have a zigzag defense first. He will go slide until the half court, basically steal the ball from my hands and then go and do some move over there. So we do those drills. I do it later on when it's more intensive, closer to competition, let's say like that. So.
Great. Thank you, Coach. There's also Coach George who would like to ask you a few things, if you agree.
Okay. Okay. Hello, Nemanja. Zdravo, Nemanja. Nadam se da si dobro. Okay. On English. Can you tell us some differences between USA and European player development or Serbian player development? Maybe you noticed some stuff, or maybe you changed something from Europe. For example, I don't know, if you speak about shooting, maybe position of the palm or ball position. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Jole.
Yep. No, you. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think Coach Darko talked about this a little bit on the clinic last year in Belgrade. The Basketball Federation there. Over there, we used to take one move and masterize the move. Like, you take one move and you do it. At least when I was there, I left the country a long time ago, but still, I was cool when I was a player and I was a coach. It was, you take one move and you do it until you masterize that move, and that's it. And then we go to the next one. I think because of generation, the way how everything changes, they cannot keep the focus on maybe it's just the culture in the States. I don't know how it's right now. It's Serbia or Sweden or somewhere else, but Here is more different repetitions on the same practice. 2 makes of this, 2 makes of that, you go to the next move. Maybe keeps them attention better, you cover more, but also on the other side, the progress in one thing is slower. That's a big difference. I kind of adjusted to that. I tried to keep some of the things that we have from our school, but also adjusted on this, especially working from players that are coming back from the similar system in NBA, like he did this summer. So that's the one thing. What else would be different? I don't think in the skill thing, skills, you can say there's anything different they teach or we teach. There's what I was really surprised is that pivot. I haven't seen people enough in States teaching pivot as much as we do in Serbia. In Serbia, you learn a little bit about ball handling and shooting, and they get you into the triple threat position, and you stay there, and you have to make sure you have the great footwork, and you stop here, stop there. I did it as well, hours and hours. Our, my friend from Spain, master of that. I think that's great. I love it, and I wish we can do that more. But I think one thing when I talk to 2 players here, and we did some pivot, they call it yogi drills, because we didn't do it enough, and they remember it as a yogi drills. That for me was insane. That we don't do enough pivot here. Obviously, game is in transition now. Game goes really fast. Maybe we don't have as much stopping as before, but I think footwork anytime, anywhere would be important. So that's a skill I think it's way more represented or shown by our school. Obviously, everybody's mentioning Luka, how great footwork he has, and then they call it Euro skill when you have things like that. And I would say second thing here in our program, I'm coming from the school where triple threat is huge, especially at young age. Catching the ball in position to shoot, be ready to shoot, all the stuff we teach over there. Here, Coach Larry Brown, coming from NBA, he was big on catching the ball and be ready to go somewhere. I think his answer was like, you can shoot it. You will know when you need to shoot it, but you have to be ready to go somewhere. So we do drill that I'm going to show later. We call it Explode. Larry did it in NBA. He did it here. We took it over. And also I become a fan of the drill. I love it. I think it's great. And that's maybe that I made a big change. So you run on the 3-point line, and the catch, you have to go somewhere. Go the same direction you came from, or you're going to jab and come back the other way, which is extremely hard. You don't see it, but when you start doing it and try to do it, and obviously he was asking one dribbling to come to the basket. So from 3-point line, no triple threat, just getting off the ball. So I'll show that drill later. So those are two biggest changes I had when I came here.
Okay. Thank you, Nemanja.
Welcome. So another set we do with the shooting here, 3-point shooting in transition, which is huge now in the game. Different types of shot. Obviously, you can catch and shoot, running from the half court or a couple of steps away. Make sure that players in the good balance. In this case, we see Sheikh here. He likes to kick that foot forward, so that's something he does, and I didn't try to change that. Shooting on transition after more dribbling, more than one, should be 2 or 3. Same thing here. Coming into office, nobody took him. You get into the good balance, shoot that ball. One bounce. It happens that you catch the ball just about 3-point line. You need the one bounce to get closer to 3-point line and get in the stance, which is different than having the ball the whole time in the hand. Same thing here. He catches the ball, puts it on the floor for one, and then get up. And so somebody, as you ask for a changing of direction and stuff, like we can do these things when we get close, as I said, to competition. We try to get more conditioning on the full court. If you saw the half court set, we will do maybe 2 makes in a row to finish the drill, or make 4 shots to go to the next one. If you do the full court like this, will be 4 in a row. So he has 4 trips up and down, try to make a 4 in a row, which is hard to make a 4 without missing, and then go to the next one. Obviously, it will be free throws in between or some small break. But if you want to raise the intensity of this, and we can obviously have more coaches in the gym, can be some shooting off the dribbling. I call this separation. I don't know how people call it, but when you get to the screen and then basically defense goes above, big gets you stretch it out or separate from defending. It looks easy, but it's not easy shot to run above in a high arc and then turn on your feet and shoot it from that distance, from NBA range. I think Lillard from Portland is amazing in this. There's a bunch of them in the league, but something like that, you go a couple of steps sideways basically and then have to turn around and get your feet ready for a shot. This is just, Bogdan was talking about this last week. You have player development and player specialization. This is specialization. This is the second level of shooting. You can't do this with everybody, obviously, with kids and also with our players. Those are drills for high-level shooters. They can create their own shot. So this will be stopped right after the screen. In Europe, Teodosic use it all the time. Defense goes above. You just take that stop right after the screen and shoot it. This will be the set where we basically go for a couple of shots on each. You know, this is specialization, so he also needs to get a feeling for a new move or get comfortable with that. This is on the hedge. You know, split the screen, shoot a three. Same thing, Lillard. One glide step off the hedge, getting into 1-2. Against the downing, you separate sideways from defense, so side step into a three. So, and then on the switch, push, try to get into hip of the big. In this case, I'm the big, as you guys can see. And try to get him off the balance and get your legs in your balance and then shoot it. I mean, high level shot, hard shot to do, stay on 3-point line on the step back, raise up for a shot. This will be, as I said, maybe 4 makes before we go to the next one, because I cannot ask this type of shooting to make it in a row, especially when we start working on that. This is the thing I talk about, like same thing, you can do the ball screen, shooting a little bit high intensity in a full court. This will be against Downing, so it was a flat screen basically, in and out on a big shot, or here snake it. This is a snake move. You asked me for this. I call this snake. Probably like everybody else, you know, shooting off the snake, and then this will be 4 in a row. So he has to go up and down. You kick the ball, he goes from side to side. Closer to competition, more intensity drills, specialization, because he has to make a 4 in a row. This will be under. Defense picks you up early. There's a screen, rescreen. One thing you can notice, I'm a great screener. He goes to NBA, he says like there's no such a great screen. So Sean on the other side also tried to do the same. I take a lot of space here. There's one screen, defense goes under. So that's example of that. And then next thing will be the 3-point shooting off the handoff. It's a similar set, Sean Stout, similar set that we had for 2. This will be for 3. So this is transition. You kick the ball to a trailer, you go get it. They follow you above that one bounce separation that we also did after more bounces, and then get into the shot. Different reads on the handoffs, different shooting will be 2 each on each side, maybe go to the other side. Defense goes under, clear under. You get it up. And then second thing will be under, where you get the ball on one side and then go the other way and shoot it. So it will be 2 makes on each move, and then flip the side so you go the other way and do the different footwork. Again, specialization in this case is shooting on a mismatch. You got a big in front of you. You got to make a 3. You got to make a move. We call this glide step from side to side. He's really good in that. He had it before. He's a long 7, as I said, he's a 6'7", 6'8" tall, but 7 feet wingspan. So he can do this. He can separate from defense, raise up. So we do repetition of these every practice. Every time we get in the gym, we'll try to finish with shot. So this is more complicated, like through the legs, step aside, make a 3. And then, as I said, as a part of the progress, you're going to have a defense. So this is a drill we play, maybe players against the coaches. If they make a basket, they get a point. If they miss a basket, we get a point. Whoever loses can go on the line or things like that. So just put a little bit more competition into it. There's a couple of players in line here, me and Sean play defense. So they can only shoot 3s. So they have to get the open shot. Here's again me with the stick. I try to not to let the easy shot end of the game. Computer almost dead. So difficult shots, but still the one that he used in the game. Try to send him one side or the other side. We have to make a quick separation into that shot off the bounce. Shown here, great contest, but still makes it. Some conditioning shooting drill on the end that we finish. This is something also he brought from 76ers, and then we use it. This is a star drill where you have to make a 4 in a row in one spot, run to the other spot, make a 4 in a row, like all the 5 spots in the star running from side to side. So he's going to run all the way to the other side. You shoot 2 free throws, and then you go again, 3 in a row, 2 in a row, 1 in a row to finish the drill. Extremely hard. If you make 2 misses in a row, you go back.
Yeah,
and it's running and running and running. It's insane. This can last 20 minutes one day, can last 6 minutes one day, you know. But making 4 in a row and then 3 in a row and then keep running from side to side. Even here, he doesn't run. I mean, super fast, but it's tiring. It's tiring. I tried it. It's tiring. And then we like to finish the practice with the long range. Obviously, I said a million times, he has a long release, high release, and then it's easy for him to shoot the ball from long range, and he has it. So we will make, I would say, 3 on each spot. So it will be side, middle, and the top 3 long range shots. It's going to be off the bounce, or it can be you kick the ball and he has to shoot it like it's the last second of the game, and you get a ball that you kind of get surprised. You got to fire it. So we will finish with that. Most of the time we'll finish practice with that or 10 in a row. I guess that's our typical Serbian. Probably it's now in the rest of the world is on try to make a 10 in a row to finish the practice. He will pick one spot and stay there until he makes 10 in a row, like he did here. Any questions? You need to stop, or I have one more block. One more block of this.
Let's finish, please, and then we can start with the questions.
Okay, so multi, like in a way where you have more things that you do at the same time. Another Sean style drill. He likes it. You had 2 different passes. Like this will be a hook pass. You kind of play a little bit. You have a hook pass. You have a bounce pass on the pick and roll, and then he gets 2 shots after that. So Sean will gonna kick, will be in this case pull up, and then he runs down, get another ball from Kevin, gets a shot. It can be with defense, where Sean can contest this. I play him one-on-one, depending on day to day. Like we can just play 3 of us defense on him. I kick the ball and run into him. He makes the read, or he goes at the rim against us. I think we're gonna show another one. So yeah, so this is coming off the ball screen, pick and pop player, pass behind, rip the baseline, read the big defender, pass to Sean, gets the pull shot from Sean, and then I will be here defender. So he's reading me if he can, or in this case, shot fake, glide, or he can attack the rim. So that's the part about individual practice I want to show. Let me get out from this. You want to stop now or just keep moving to the team part?
Let's keep moving, okay?
Okay. This will be a little bit shorter, not a little bit, this will be shorter. I just want to show a couple of things. I know Bogdan's going to ask a question about how you influence your system with the player development, what kind of drills you do and stuff. We like you know, Coach Brown and Coach Larry Brown and Tim Jankovic, they both emphasize playing as a team and sharing the ball. It's a huge emphasis in our place. Like we in our program, we basically play with 1 bounce, 2 bounces, try to release the ball to the other player. One of the drills we like to use, 4 on 3. You have 14 seconds on the clock. Defense has to play for 14 seconds. Obviously, they work on closeouts, rotation, boxing out 4 against 3 for defense inside. Offensive side, you have to move the ball quick enough until somebody has advantage, and then obviously, as soon as you make advantage, somebody else will come. You gotta try to find somebody else and kick. So just mute this. Example from the game against the matchup zone, basically playing free game, which is best for us. 1 bounce kick, 2 bounces kick, 1 bounce kick, ball moves around. It's the same like in 4 on 3 drill, we call it. That's basically biggest thing we try to emphasize in our game. Second thing that our coach likes to do is try to steal as much as you can easy baskets. Easy baskets means lobs, backdoors, quick post up just under the basket where you can catch the ball and finish before defense figure out that you can get it there. Some drills we do in the team practice is obviously high level basketball, high level athletes from 1 to 5 in our team. Everybody can catch lob. We are trying to teach them to pass it because obviously when you catch the lob, we sign the players that are high athletes and can go up. So we try to make sure that they can pass that ball so we can actually execute. So one of the drills, 2-0 fast break from the half court. Here's a shake, Dre throwing that ball up. Different type of lobs. This is basically play for a point guard where you throw the ball, cut from the back screen in the middle. This is our 2017 team that won our league and went to the NCAA tournament. So that's the lob we talk about. The teaching point is here on the catch. You want to try to bring the ball on the catch. You try to bring the ball above your shoulder so you can throw the ball even if they contest. So when we do the drills, we try to teach that on the catch because you know the play is coming. You gotta have the ball above and basically make that pass above. Like Ben did here. This is the other one, my bad. Another lob we like to do. So coming at you with the ball with any kind of ball screen, you read the defender in the corner. If he's high above, you go baseline. If he's in, you're gonna go up for a roll up. And we do this a lot. It doesn't look easy. Maybe looks easy, but it's not easy. Dribbling at defender and then throwing the ball and cross pass above the rim. It's not easy pass. We try to do it on the practices, and obviously we're using that in the game. This is a huge bucket in the game to change the game and get a team up, cutting from the baseline, reading the high position of the player in the corner. Another example. So he was a little bit up. That's enough for our guys to get up. Another lob is basically against the down defense. Against the down defense, basically in down defense, it's a foot race between two bigs, big on defense and big on offense. You want to stay lower than your. If I'm on defense, I want to stay lower than the player in offense. I want to be in down. So basically, with this thing, we try to win the foot race, screen down, and then the same thing. Like you have to dribble off the screen and throw the lob. Another passing drill. Another example here in the game. So he's defender. He's trying to win the foot race down there. Downhill, try to clear the space on the floor so you can throw the lob. Same example. Same thing here. So it's basically like a horn set. You spin and get a lob. And the other thing, as I said, like throw over. So this is what another easy basket, I would say. So on the catch, ball has to go above the shoulder so you can throw that quick post up from inside. We have different angles to do it. We have different sets to do it. But basically, everybody, when we call a certain name of the play, when you're getting out, you have to have the ball up so you can throw it. You're not catching for a rip or you're not catching for a shooting, of course. Try to see the guy under, and then I'll just show you the couple of clips that you've seen. That's like building up from 2-on-0 to 5-on-0 to 5-on-5. But I'm gonna just show it, for example, from the game. So he does a great job here. Ben brings the ball above the head, great seal, and then also we clear space on the other side. So that's another easy bucket that we want to try to steal. Another example, ball above the head, quick reverse, typical high-low here because we had advantage. They put the small guy on our shooter, on our big four-man. And then second thing that we are famous about here is try to play with the 5-out. We tried to do it in 2016. Obviously now Houston is doing it. Everybody's doing it in NBA. But this is a drill. I said, like, if you don't have a shot, you're going to back up, try to take your man one-on-one, basically try to teach the guys that everybody has, equal opportunity to driving. So this is a clip from 2017, 5-out defense where you try to, it's a shot fake we talk about, and then strong drive to the basket, like keeping everybody outside paint. We have, as I said, we try to sign the athletes, they can shoot. So it's very difficult to keep everybody in front. you have to protect the 3-point line, but you also have to protect the drive. Couple of examples of that, and I think that will be, yeah. One more thing here, my bad. That's the thing I talk about. We call this explode. You're running out, and on the catch you go. Like in Serbia, we will never do this. You run out, you will catch in triple threat. At least when I was there. This is a rip, so you're catching the ball and coming in the same direction you came off. You rip. You try not to walk. You have one bounce to get to 3-point line. To the basket from 3-point line. So this can be also the second move will be you jab that side and you go back the other way. Progression with the defense. You will do the same move here, but you're gonna have defender. You're gonna have defender in the corner. This is 4 years ago when Iki was a graduate assistant. He could help practice. So if defense is deep, you're gonna kick out for 3, and then obviously the guy in the corner should read. If defense is high, you have that lob that we talk about. On the same game, he rips it. I think we ran it back to back. We ran it maybe 2 minutes later again, the same offense because his player couldn't guard. Defense from the corner helps. You kick it out. SMU basketball, one bounce kick and shoot 3. So that's all I want to show. There's a bunch of clips here also, but I think we had gone for a while. I'll leave some time for questions.
Super. Coach Omer has a question. So Omer, please feel free to ask.
Hi. First of all, thanks a lot for the presentation. I believe you spend a lot of time to prepare it. And another thing, in these days, you let us walk around your gym too. It was good because of the lockdown at our homes. Thank you. Somehow I have a chance to coach one of your Hall of Famer, Ben Moore, this season in Galatasaray for 18 games because he was homesick. He wanted to get back to States. Great guy, great athlete. I have a question, but it's not about like Ben only. I have like similar story about Doğuş Balbay, who is now team captain of Anadolu Efes and graduate from Texas Longhorns. Okay. For example, Ben, in his career in NCAA for 4 years, he shoot only 5 threes in 4 years. Yep. And I believe in player development, and I believe you think the same way because of your school from Serbia. Like whatever we practice, like game reputation is very important. And a lot of NCAA coaches, like why they don't let this kind of players, like for example, Ben is a great athlete. I mean, he got great skills, and if he can shoot the 3 points without any hesitation, I believe he's gonna make the NBA contract easily. Mm-hmm. And what do you think, like NCAA coaches don't make this kind of shooting start, like don't let these guys to shoot more in the games? Because, for example, last year you got like 30 wins out of 35 games when you became the champion, I guess. Mm-hmm. Last year of Ben. Yeah. What do you think about this? And it's not about like blaming or individual stuff. It's, I mean, I believe if you have Ben in Serbia, he's gonna shoot at least 5 threes each game. I believe that way. Mm-hmm. Because in our Turkey and Serbia, it's the same way.
Yeah. There's just one simple answer for that. Ben Moore every year except his last year played for Coach Larry Brown. Coach Larry Brown likes to drive the ball more than shoot the 3. Okay, so his development, he was developing Ben. For example, Ben is a great ball handler because Coach Brown played him at point. So he basically helped him to become what Ben is. Ben is like extremely skilled for a big guy. You saw that.
Yeah, for sure.
But his philosophy of the game, even with Pistons and later on in the NBA, is like he doesn't like threes. Okay, so later on, new coach likes threes more than the old coach. So the guys that are here in this system right now, we are obviously developing that part of the game as well. And college basketball is changing. It's coming slower than Europe and NBA, but obviously now even players, they know 3-point shot is the most important shot, and we work on that, they work on that as well. So I have video for you here from Ben this summer, same thing. Like we did, same workouts with Ben that we did with Shake. He's coming back here to work out with Sean Stout. Sean and him, they spent 4 years together. As you see here, we've been working on his shooting. So to answer your question, it's just depending in the program where you are and situation we are. Like Coach Larry Brown is a great coach, amazing coach, and he helped Ben to develop his skill like he did. Obviously, he didn't shoot the threes that much. So
nice. Thank you. And some small words for Sean. Sean, Nemanja needs a new computer, man. Support
Okay,
him
yes.
a little bit.
Exactly.
Thanks, Nemanja. Appreciate it.
Next one. You have a next question?
Thank you, Omar. Yeah. There is a Coach Danny who would like to ask you a few things also. Coach, please.
Ciao, Nemanja. Can you hear me?
Hola, Dani, ¿cómo estamos?
Muy bien. ¿Y tú?
Muy bien, muy bien. Cambia por inglés.
I'm going to talk in English. I think it's better.
Yes.
Just it's a quick question about big guys, because I'm agree with you. Like, I don't know why, but USA, they don't have too many big men player development coaches, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I don't know what is the reason, because we have a common friends who are working on that, and I think it's a key for basketball right now. It's obvious that low post is every year going down, you know. Yeah. Nobody's playing a lot, but I think on player the development it's a key for the basketball. I think nobody's taking care of that. So I don't know what is the reason exactly. Do you have any idea about it?
It's like you said in your question, is game is changing and people are getting less and less to the low post. I'm personally against that. I personally like to play on the post. I like to get a ball closer to the basket with the drive or with the pass. And our school and your school as well, like, doesn't matter who do you post. Doesn't matter who do you post. Like in our case, we have a couple of guards that we can post better than maybe some bigs. So I think it's important to do that part of development and do the back to the basket play and close to the basket play. We do, as you see, we do one part of it. Like one part of it we do. Answer is just the game is going in that direction. That's the only answer. But same thing, like they say, like 3-point line is important. Don't shoot the hard shots around the rim, and then you get to the playoffs, and then you do have both post ups and you have a lot of mid-range shots and stuff. So when you want to really play in high level, I think you have to have both.
I agree. That's great. Thanks.
I miss you, my man. I hope to see you soon.
Yeah.
Great. Coach Gabri is asking you about game day routine. Could you tell us about the preparation for the game and your routine you have with certain players, or with how you manage it?
I guess his question about aspect of the player development. So
yeah.
There's a players in the system that they call redshirt. The players that don't play, they take a year off and they don't play because, let's say, freshmen, usually they come here and they take a redshirt, which means you don't play for a year, you just practice. And then we have 13 scholarships plus a couple of walk-ons that are playing there. So all of them will not get to play. And then some of the players, you tell them, like, okay, this year you have to develop. You stay, you don't play. And players agree on that. That's nothing wrong with that. So if it's a redshirt player, basically he has no responsibility to the game. So there's a part of the day where, let's say we have a walkthrough. He's doing guard stuff. just before a game, I would say we get out on the court hour and 15 before a game, and we split in 2 groups, bigs and guards, and we do the individual warm-up for, I would say, 12 minutes. 12 minutes each group. Our assistant coaches are leading that part of the workout. Jay Duncan is in charge for guards, and Efet is in charge for bigs, and they will do some of our team or some individual development stuff. So that's like 12-minute session where you kind of get 4 players on the floor, and you do some stuff with them. We can't do like NBA that have one-on-one coaching with the players. We don't have enough, I would say, more space than anything else. And we will do one-on-one. We will do 4 players at a time at the group. They will do that warm-up, go back to locker room, have the team meeting, and then go back for a team warm-up. So it will be like a 12-minute session where you get your own shots. Like guys will get their roll-ups, shooting off the bounce, transition shooting. They will do some explode, the drill that I mentioned before. That's the game day.
Great. Thank you. Okay, just a second. No, we have no questions.
Great.
Super. Okay, coach, our director, I would like to ask you one question. So the big boss.
Can you hear me, coach?
Yes.
Well, actually, how much do you control your players' improvement by using a statistic? Like difference between game day and practice?
So we do, we don't have, for example, shot tracker is something that they install in the gym, and some schools they have it. It costs, I think, $15,000 a year or something like that, or I'm not sure. We are not using that project. Everything we do with charting. So as you've seen on the couple of clips here, we have student managers that are helping the team, and we will chart every practice, every shot, every stats and everything. So we will have, maybe even have somewhere here. So we will have like, obviously, practice stats and then week stats. We try to follow week from week because there's a big curve in people coming up and down. So we try to follow in the week, especially for shooters, how it goes. We will chart everything, compare, talk, see what's going around. Big on the free throws, big on 3-point shooting on the practice, big on the turnovers, big on the hustle plays. So that's the thing. We follow every practice and try to use it to analyze and then get it back on the floor again.
Okay, thank you. We have a question from Manuel Ramirez.
Manu.
Hello, coach.
Hey, Manu.
A big virtual hug from Spain, from Madrid.
Thanks
I hope
a lot.
you are well.
Thanks
Listen,
a lot,
you explain very well all the methodology that you follow in the player development program that you have, and I would like to ask you about the take decision in a specific concept, no? For example, in off screen or in playing pick and roll, we can see some take decision when you are training in the video that you do. How much time do you spend with the players in shooting, but taking decision? Just if the defender is under, or if the defender is following, you pull up, you show us some kind of the exercise that you do in take of decision. How much time do you coach this, do you train this, comparing with the whole program, with the whole practicing that the players do? Thank you very much, coach.
Thank you. I would say maybe around 40%. Coaching, specific playing. So it's just a one step under playing live. So it's like you are there and you're reading and you can have something to do it. So you did 1-on-0 great, you did, or let's say 3-on-0 if you're doing something in the team, but you did 1-on-0 great, you do it in a full speed, all the details are great, and now you got to get the reads. But also once you get to the reads, like in this case we watch Shake, You can't just stay there. You got to go back, and same like reading, you got to go back to ABC and then go again. So you're mixing, you get to that point, you stay there and work on that, like basically get specialization up, but then you also have to get back to basics, which I always do with him. So to answer your question, I think it's around 40%. I will not say it's like, I would say it's not half of the time all the time, but once you get there, you can give them reads and they want reads. Obviously, let's say talking about the ball screen is like, there's a screen coming. My first read is I want to refuse the screen. I don't want to use it. So that's my first option. I want to go away from the screen. Second thing, I will try to use it. And now, as you said, we are reading all the stuff. So you got to show each one of the solutions and then start basically putting defense to do it. But I don't know if I answered correctly your question, but I think around 40% will be time of shooting that you're going to spend with some reads in this case. And big hug to you guys as well over there. Os echo de menos.
Bueno. Coach Gabri would like to ask you something. Gabri, please.
Hi, Coach. Could you hear me?
Yep.
You said that you have some help for the analytics from the students.
Yep.
Do you have any other helps from the students, like, I don't know, nutrition or something like that?
Student manager is positioned that basically every year we open up and say, like, whoever wants to help a team, come here. And this year, maybe I'm wrong, but I think we had 8, 9, maybe something like that. I could count now and get each number and each name and then figure out. But we had a lot. And then those guys, obviously, they have their schedule in the school, and they will be there available for us when they don't have a class. Same like the players. But obviously, players can move their schedule around, but these guys cannot. So they're a huge part of the staff, and they're doing all the dirty work behind. And we are so thankful for them that I cannot explain. So basically, how they look like. They will be available to the players 24/7. Let's say a player wants to come back and shoot in the gym at 9 o'clock at the night, and he wants to have a passer instead of shooting on the gun. He has the numbers of the managers. He will send a message and say, like, hey, can you come and pass for me? And usually the student managers, they want to spend time with the guys and they want to help a lot. So we had a great relationships that have been built up between the student manager and the player. One example, Shimi Ojule had a student who is in Boston Celtics now. He had a student manager who was always with him, and he was shooting in the gym for 2.5, 3 years he was here. So those guys are like this close, and they still stay in touch, and you can see they're, really, really good friends. So they are available to players. They're serving the players. That's the first thing. Serve the players, like when they want to shoot, when they need anything. So mostly about shooting. Second thing will be to prepare the practice. Bring the towers, set up the clock, set up the camera, set up the mic. Our coach likes to use the mic on the practice, so the gym is louder, so everybody can hear. Prepare the balls, all the small things around the court. It's all these guys are doing. Then after the practice, players want to stay shoot again. They stay to pass the ball. Even cleaning up, like we finished the meal in the locker room. If there's anything to clean, they have to clean it up. There's such a value in the program, and they help so much that I cannot explain. Helping with the laundry, helping on the road with the bags. Like we go on the road, they will put all the bags outside the bus in front of us. I mean, amazing job. On the floor, they obviously they don't count as a coaches, and they can help the players, because when I say count as a coach, it means you are getting into the 4 hours that NCAA gives you. So student manager doesn't get into it. If player wants to work out with student manager, he can work out on his own as much as they want. So they also have that part of the ability to help players on the floor, which is amazing. So if anybody's listening, thanks to all the managers that helped us a lot. I mean, I also am close friends with all of them that have been here. So
thanks.
Great. Thank you, Gabri. Okay, Coach Raimondo has a question for you also.
Hello,
please.
Coach. Thank you very much for your presentation. I have a question. This year, I have the possibility to work with a Serbian coach, and I I speak with him about how to learn the layup. Okay, I want to know what you think about, because he assured that it's better to teach to the kids. I speak about players from 16 years old and older, to keep the ball above the head. But in my school, they teach me that it's better to take the ball in the middle of your core, where you have more strength. What you think about? Because in one clip that you show us previously, I saw that this kind of layup where the player puts the ball above the head.
So we just talk about the layup. We talk about layup situation. Where's the so definitely when you teach the young kids, okay, the basic layup is that. Let me see. Let's switch to, yeah, there you go. When you start teaching the kids and you start teaching the layup, if you go from all the steps before, like you are holding the ball, depending how young kids are. Probably Serbian coach already did it over there. So you have the whole. Coach is holding the ball, and the kid goes like in the level of the shoulder, grabs the ball from his hand, and then makes 2 steps and go. Basically, if you are working on the right layup, you put your right foot behind, and then basically ball is there. So he picks up the ball and goes 1, 2, and then goes for layup. So that's the first thing. And then to explain it, like for kids, that's the ball position. That's the basic ball position. They have to have it protected. They have to have the fingers up of this hand so they can first they shoot the ball to basket. They never go underhand first or side. So they go with the hand behind, hand in front, elbows up to protect the ball. They grab it like that and go. Then later on, they throw the ball by themselves. They pick it up. They dribble the ball. They pick it up. But that's the position for kids, You twist the shoulders. You don't stand like this. You twist the shoulders. Yeah. There, and that's where you are the strongest one for little kids, okay? The thing that we have seen on the clip over there, as I said, there's a player development, player specialization. This is specialization where I have the ball there, but in NBA, they don't call it. Or even like on high level, they don't call this, like if you go here. So sometimes the player from the corner or the first player on the help, they dig into the ball. So the way how you avoid it is you bring the ball above your head for a second and then you lay it up in, which is not easy because players are used to have it there or used to have it low. So they also teach you now, like if the hand is here, you can go under with the ball. Like, depending on the position of the hand. So if the hand is usually a defensive player, they go straight to the chest level. So you can bring the ball under or you can bring the ball above, depending where the defense is. So I would say player development, young kids, everything, basic position. And then you have finish behind, finish side, and finish under. Under is when they get to the position that they can basically jump to the level of the ring. We don't teach in Serbia, we don't teach the lay it up the ball in until they have, 14, 15, when they can actually jump and lay the ball up. But they're shooting, so they go up and they shoot that ball and go straight to layup. That's my answer. So basic, it's here for kids.
Yes. No, thank you. I agree with you. It's more for development, to give more stuff, more weapon to our players. And in fact, I speak with him that we need also to teach them to grab the ball under the belt level. Okay, so that's it. Thank you for your answer.
You're welcome.
Super. I'm not sure if Marko Nestorović wants to ask you.
My man.
Marko.
Hi guys.
Hey.
Čuješ me, da?
Čujem.
Yeah. First of all, thank you very much for this great seminar. I very, very appreciate it, and I would like to say so very kind to look at you like a live man.
Thank you.
After a long time, yeah.
Yep.
I have 2 questions. First question is about get open development. How long you spent the time for this part of basketball? And then I think so that you can use good screens. And the second question is how players adjust from high school to university, and then from university to pro basketball, NBA or EuroLeague, Euro basketball, whatever. Thank you, Nemanja. Thank you a lot.
I'll talk to you. Thanks. As I said at the beginning, somebody asked about the differences in the skills. As I said, pivot is something that I mentioned. Also, we do teach a lot of using of the screens in the group practices. And one drill that we basically do every day is that there's two guards at the top, and there's a guard in the corner, or three players. Pass between two players, and I go and set away screen, same like we do at home. And we will do all the options, like, player will curl, you throw the ball. We usually do it with two balls. Back home, we'll do everything with one ball. Right now, obviously, here you have 8 coaches and you have all the student managers and stuff. So basically, whatever drill you do, you can feed every player with the ball when you finish. So we will do that. We will start with the one ball, and we will finish with all 3 balls. But basically, let's say first read, you come up to screen, and then defense is above you. You don't use the screen. You cut to the goal. You get a pass under. The other guy looks at the ball, goes up on the other side, and then he gets his own shot. So read between 2 players on the screen, we do it basically on a daily basis, like every day. And I say we spend a lot of time with it. And also a lot of time with it. Also, second step will be sometimes we'll put the defense on the guy in the corner, and then we're depending on him. Same like we do at home. There's nothing new there. Talking about the get open, we don't do it as much detailed as we do it at home. We don't separate like getting into the contact, footwork down there, how you cross the step, how you push off, how you do it. Basically, when we do that explode drill, you saw that the guy standing on the elbow on the lane line down there, he will sprint out. We don't talk too much about details, and also one thing that I figure out, like, high level of athletes you have, there's a lot less into details in the contact, pivot, and everything, because they just make advantage with their ability. Which is as I told you, that's the biggest strangest thing for me was like explode drill from later round that we also took now and keep it in our staff is like you run off and you get the ball. It's just, and then you rip it and then go back to the basket. And I was like, what's this? But then later on in the game, they do it the same like that. They just run off and then get the ball. Like if they want to get open, they're going to sprint and get faster than me and you together. So that's the first question. I mean, obviously, we should definitely teach that. I like our school and I like everything about those parts.
Do you have problems when the players comes from high school to university on this kind of?
It's a huge change. Also, high school level here for example, I'll give you one example. High school level in Texas, they don't play with the shot clock. Can you imagine the games like that? So game is different. It's not like you are watching under 18 in Serbia or under 16 in Spain or something like under 16, under 18 in Serbia, Spain, Italy, whatever, Turkey, wherever.
In Europe,
they know how to play. They play. They have the systems. They have offense. They have defense. They run it. High school here is a little bit different. There's no shot clock. You can lead the game 20-12 and decide to hold the ball. And there's it's really ugly. But anyhow, with even that, like even with all this stuff, there's some, I mean, obviously great players are coming up to high school, going to our school or some other schools, and it's just a different game. They don't get as much. So when they come here, it's like basically first year of a cadet in Serbia, like no knowledge about the team stuff. Really, really small. I say no knowledge, but really, really small. Like we have to reteach everything, and then that's why summer is important. That's why we have 4 hours a summer, 4 hours a week a summer, which is we usually make it 3 practices, hour and 15. And in hour 15, it has to be planned out, everything. 2 minutes of this, 5 minutes of this, 5 minutes of that, because you want to cover everything. When you catch the ball, you do this. When you set the screen, you do that. Like there's so much teaching in the summer. That's why in college basketball, old team is winning. Like if you have a team that is junior, senior, staying, they don't leave to NBA or Europe, they're gonna win because they know the system. They know everything is we are in this situation this year. We have we didn't have a seniors this year, so everybody's coming back, and this is always this is my 6th year here. So the generation that we took after the championship generation, they're coming to be seniors now. So after 4 years, basically teaching, you're coming now in a situation. Okay, we are fine if we don't have a summer because of Corona, because everybody knows the system. Everybody knows what to do. So I don't know if I answered your question, but like transition in states from high school to college is great. It's really difficult. First of all, you're going, everything you happen in Serbia when you go to a big city, like you separate from family, you're coming in a different environment. School is beating you up because scheduling with these classes on college, at least in our private and high education school, is really tough. So they will be worse than professionals, man. Like, because they wake up in the morning, they come here, shoot a little bit, maybe 15-20 minutes for like vitamins, go to school, 1 class, 2nd class, lunch. They come here, stretching, practice goes for 2.5 hours. They finish there, they have tutors. So it's all day long. And then, okay, first week, okay, 2nd week, 3rd week, 3rd month before we start the season, players are, in really difficult situation, So freshmen, they hit the wall in one moment. They just come to the situation that there's no more space, both mentally and physically. So it's a tough transition, Talking about shortly, you know that when a player from USA comes to Europe, it's completely, culture shock. Like my coach just said.
Yeah, I know that.
Ben Moore is a great player. He can play EuroLeague over there, get like huge money. Couldn't stay there. It's just different country. I had my Americans in Denmark going to buy the food to the gas station, which nobody does over there. Here in the States, it's it's just so much different. But both rule games and stuff. So it's a tough change. It's tough for a coach as well. I can tell you that. So.
Yeah, but it's more depend of the coaches, how the coaches adjust the new players from USA. Okay, Nemanja, thank you a lot. Thank you very much.
Nice to see you, bud.
Nice to see you.
Thank you.
Touch.
Okay, we have the very last question. Coach Pablo, please turn on your mic.
Okay, Nemanja.
¿Qué tal, amigo?
¿Qué pasa, hombre? Well, do you use self-scouting on players' development? And if you do it so, how do you use it? Like, you first watch with them the video and then you practice on the court, or you just watch it yourself as a coaches?
So Pablo was always the assistant coach to Bogdan and me. So Bogdan with self-scouting and scouting, and then me. So Pablo is he crossed the wire. We do self-scouting both for a team and the player. Obviously, I'm in charge of that part for a player side, and you watch the film, you find the things that you want to share with the players. And one of the coaches in Serbia said, "I don't agree with the players. I practice with the players." So. And I also, you're gonna come there after the game. Each coach will have the different player where they kind of try to get some more clips on them. So we separate in staff. Each coach has a couple of players, and you will make a video. You can send it to them on the huddle because you have option to send that video for them and write down everything you want. But usually we bring them in and show the film before practice. We talk about it before the coach goes to the big meeting room for a team scouting. So, and then combination between statistics that you have and the video, we try to get better next day. So.
Great. Thank you so much. Okay, Nemanja, I think that's it. Okay. Thank you so much. The last thing, first of all, do you have any last thought that you would like to share with the other coaches? And if you have any question for our next coach, who's going to be Erdem Can, assistant coach of Fenerbahce Beko Istanbul. He's going to talk about defensive system and philosophy they had in their club under Coach Obradović, of course.
No, first of all, thanks to everybody that spent 2 hours with us almost here now. And I hope you could see the video. I hope you can get the point. If not, you can reach out and then we can talk more about it. I'll just try to write my email here so people can reach out. It was great to have everybody. And just move this out. So this will be my. Can everybody see this? Yes.
Yeah, we can see. Thank you so much.
That's my email. You can reach out here, and then if you have any more questions, we can talk about anything. And if you guys want to come and visit SMU or come to watch our practices, obviously SMU is in a great city. You have Dallas Mavs, you have SMU, you have Legends, so you have both three levels. Have NBA, college, and G League. If you want to come and we can connect you to watch some practices, get together with our staff would be great. And then any other questions you can ask on that email. Thanks a lot for time. For Erden, question, what he thinks that international coaches can help in NBA team. So I know he spent a lot of time with Utah Jazz every summer, and he can talk a little bit about it. And thank you guys for reaching out. I hope you could see it. I hope you understand, and hope we get some new ideas from this.
Nemanja, thank you so much. It was a huge pleasure and honor for us.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.